Molly. Hey, congratulations.
Hey, thank you.
Second
It's
season
nice
of
to
the
see you again. Yeah.
I love this show so much. I wanted to talk to you about it, but you know what? Let's start with that obligatory question. What in your opinion, what contributes to this you think is the secret to success for the irrational?
I think the secret to its success is that it's a lighthearted like it's a lighthearted show and it's um educational, but it makes it seem fun and it's sort of cozy murder mysteries almost. Like you know that Alec is always going to figure it out. He's always going to solve the problem. Like um and there's a lot of um what's the word I'm looking for? Like a wholesome kind of approach to a lot of the relationships between the characters too. Like yeah.
So true, so true. I mean, the chemistry amongst all of you is pretty good,
Mm.
but what do you like about playing Phoebe in this series?
I love Phoebe. I love that she's such a fully fleshed out person, I think, in the show. Like I really just understand who she is, and I love that she's a representation of a lot of high achieving young women in society who maybe do have mental health struggles or they have anxiety and they're navigating the ways in which they can still be a high achiever and still get all the things they want out of life, but not feel so ashamed of the things they struggle with or feel like they can't admit it or yeah, or have times that they struggle.
So how do you get into the mentality of Phoebe, especially with the struggle with anxiety?
Um, I've done a lot of research on anxiety and like that just sort of I guess more so just the physicality or like the symptoms and that's something I try to bring to her and her mannerisms. But yeah, I think getting into her headspace otherwise hasn't been that much of a challenge for me because I also grew up a high achiever and a good student, and so a lot of that part of Phoebe comes naturally to me.
You know, as a good student, Phoebe is remarkable because she's smart and capable. But as an actor like yourself, Molly, what is your extent of knowledge of psychology?
Um, I have a pretty good working knowledge of psychology, actually. I studied psychology when I was in college. It was it wasn't my major, but I had several courses and they were some of my favorites that I took. Um, and then after graduation, I just for fun, I would read nonfiction psychology books as well. So, uh, yeah, I'd say I have a decent working knowledge of a lot of psychology.
Well, most excellent. Was there a favorite psychological experiment that you did on the show that you just kind of love recreating?
Um, I actually thought the experiment that we did in the premiere of season two with the paintball, um, that was really fun and it was fun to shoot and it was like just a funny um kind of way to represent the you know the way that people view revenge and how uh, they can be completely irrational in their pursuit of revenge, um, despite it really not being of any benefit to them.
So true, so true. Tell us about your interaction because I love the cast in this. But first tell us about the interaction with Arash who plays Rizwan on this series because it seems like you two complement each other so well in its own way. How do you develop that chemistry with them?
Thank you. We we just clicked right away as people. I think that, we're good friends now, and we've been friends since the pilot, um, which was several years ago now. And I think that a lot of a lot of that is just sort of interpersonal chemistry. And does this person, you can't really um, fabricate it. It's just, does this person click with you or do they not? But um, I think we also were very intentional about making sure that the audience members could feel um, the the genuine care that Phoebe and Rizwan have for each other, and how they sort of go out of their way to pick each other up when they're down. And it's just a very sweet relationship. And I know Arash and I both feel lucky that we get to tell the story together. So,
Absolutely. Now, for season two, there are certain changes that came with Phoebe ever since, her anxiety. Um, tell us about Phoebe's new role now under a new tutelage of a different professor. I mean, why does she still want to interact with Alec if she was working with someone else?
that's the question, isn't it? Um, I think she does miss Alec. I think she misses, because of course he was her teacher for so many years, and her mentor, and they have a close relationship as well. I think that she really admires Alec and looks up to him, and she was sad to go. So I think there's, of course she misses that office. Um, but I think that she believes she's doing the right thing for herself with Professor Myers. And um, as unusual as Professor Myers' methods might be with the morning yoga and everything, I think that Phoebe believes that she's taking the break she needs to reset and to assess what she really wants out of her career, and what, just those internal negotiations of how much will it cost my inner peace or my serenity to really go for what I need in my career, that sort of thing.
Yes, yes, and not to mention in the upcoming episodes for the Irrational, your line is starting to unfold. You know, the rational person in myself would say, you know, tell us what it is, but in the end, just go ahead and tease us. What do we expect for Phoebe for the rest of the season?
I think Phoebe is going to have to really confront what the right choice, you know, what it means to make the right choice for yourself, and what it means to make the right choice for the people around you. And we also see a little bit more of her backstory. We see a little bit more of um, what makes Phoebe who she is, and we get a little bit of fun and playfulness out of Phoebe too later on in the season, which I think is really fun, and fun to see her break into new kind of emotional spaces with people. So, yeah,
Well, it's
very
going to be
cryptic, I know.
it's one of those things going, what how do I psychoanalyze Molly with her answer? But nonetheless,
Exactly, right. You gotta watch more of the show so that you can figure out how to psychoanalyze me.
nonetheless, it's going to be a great season for season two. Molly,
Thank
it's a
you.
pleasure to speak to you again. Season
You
two,
as well. Thank
it's
you.
going to be great, and you are always a delight to
Oh,
speak with.
thank you so
So
much.
let's do this again.
Can't wait.